So, what you're going to be doing is creating, using artboards in Illustrator. What will be the front and the back of the cover. So you'll notice that it will fold and will allow a bit of room for what we call the spine. That's this tiny little I think it was about 3 millimeters, maybe 4 here. So that is one artboard. So it'll print together. Then we'll create another artboard which will have a mock-up of the vinyl on it. And we'll be a little bit clever and make some artificial grooves on there. But we'll have a little mock-up of the little hole in the center and the label. Okay? So this is a little piece of design as well. Text and the way graphics work together. And so what you use for the front cover, you'll then use to make a mock-up A3 promotional poster. Okay? Which will have obviously the name and, you know, out now, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to set this up, and like all graphic design projects, set them up right at the very beginning. And then that way, as you progress, and quite often, if the deadline narrows, that is, you suddenly have to finish, it's all set up properly, okay? Some of the biggest errors can happen because you've run out of time and you need to do some reformatting that doesn't quite come through. So, I'll set this up new. We'll set this up for print. So automatically, when we do this print, we've got CMYK color and 300 pixels per inch resolution. Okay. If you take photos with your phone, they will be more than good enough in terms of the detail and the resolution. Okay. You'll probably come unstuck if you use images from the internet, unless they are high resolution, because this is being printed at high resolution, 300 pixels per inch. Most images sourced from the interwebs are 72 pixels per inch and much smaller in the size. Okay, so definitely better to take photos with your phone, or if you've got a camera, do that. You could also, of course, use some existing photographs that might actually be printed out and scan those and use them. Okay, you might use something from an old family album or something, or even find some interesting photos in a second-hand store or something that you could scan. Okay? All right, so I'm here, I'm setting this up. This is going to be a custom job because there's no presets that are set for LP sizes. So first of all, put a name. And I always do, as I said, this version control, 01. That way if I do an update or something different, I'll call it 02, and so on. Okay? So the unit of measurement that we use for print is millimeters. We don't have any Americans in here, do we? With the imperial measurement of inches. Anyone use inches as a... No? Okay, good. Okay, so the size of vinyl is 300 by 300. Okay? So it's going to be 300 high. Now, if I double that, I get 600 front and back. But I'm not allowing for the fold, the spine. Okay? Millimeters, definitely. So I'll just make this one, I think I made it 3 millimeters. Okay. I will put some bleed around this because I might have the image or the actual graphics go right to the very edge. So I'll just link these together. I'll just say 5 millimeters. That'll be about fine. And that should be right to go. So let's go create. Okay. Now, what I might do, I'll put some guides in to help me in a moment, but what I'll do is I'll create the other art boards. Okay? So the art boards will appear in this properties panel when I actually access the artboard tool, okay, which lives down the bottom here. So I'll just click that, and so this is giving me the size of the artboard that I currently have. I could come and change the size and adapt it if I needed to. I've set it up so I don't need to, so I won't worry about that at the moment. But I will do this though. I will create a new artboard. So I'll just click this button here, and you can see it's duplicated the artboard 1. Okay, I don't want one that size, so I'm actually going to change this one. Now this is quite important. Well, it's not the most important thing, but it's just helpful. I want the new artboard to just sit here. Now if I go changing the size, the position of this, where this little markers are, will be where the sizes change from. So I'm just going to make this top left. That means that if I change the size, so I'll make it 300 and hit the tab key, there's my LP. Okay, and I'll create one more, add the artboard. Here's artboard 3, and this is going to be an A3 poster. So who can remember the sizes of A3? You had it, very good. So we'll do this portrait though, and so we'll set the width at 297 and we'll set the height at 420. Just 5 millimeters. It's Say that again? I haven't worried about margins. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just save this, because at the moment it's not saved. So should there be a crash or something, everything would be lost. So File, Save. I want the .ai to come into this, and what I will do is I'm going to create a whole new folder to put this in. I'm working on the Documents folder, new folder, Assessment 2, and I'll just call it LP package, create, and so I'll save it in here, but all of the other graphic elements that I use, the photos and things that I put together, I'll save into a folder here as well. That way these will be specifically made for print at high resolution, and if I'm reusing images that I've used previously, which might be set for screen, RGB colours and smaller sizes, this way I know that everything that I use will be put together, and then if I take this package to another computer, the whole folder will go with it, okay? All of the content, okay? There's nothing worse than leaving pieces that are part of the project on old folders or something. If you are working on other computers, here at Illustrator, you can save backwards. So it does depend. I'm not sure if these computers have the up-to-date version of Illustrator. Most likely they don't, but your computers at home probably will. So just be aware that if you need to save it backwards from your home computer to open up on these computers, you might need to just save a new version, okay? And so go back to a legacy. Legacy is an older version, okay? And there we go. And so what I've done, and so just looking at what I've set up previously, I've just copied and pasted some type on there. I'll let you do all of this, but let's see where I put these guides. So this guide, let's just choose this artboard. 605. All right, so I made it a 5mm one, but three will be fine. Oh. Yeah, I made it 5, but 3 is going to be more than adequate. Okay? You can set it up for 5 if you like. In fact, if you wanted to, here we are with the artboards. I might just make this one 605. And so what I'll do is, rather than changing the size, if I change the size, so I'll just make the size, say 20, I'll make it much bigger. See what happens? The artboard pushes over the artboard next to it. So what I'll do is I'll choose the right hand marker, and if I make that now 605, just tap the tab key, it's just pushed it that way. So the transform panel is very helpful. I'll get my rulers up, Command R, of course, and I'll just drag some guides out, sometimes when you first set up an Illustrator document, the guides are actually locked. So you might need to go View, Guides, and Unlock Guides. Okay, if you can't select them. It's good to actually lock your guides as well, that way you can't accidentally move them. But what this means is I can grab this one, I'll put it at 300, then I'll just grab that one and I'll put it at 305. Okay? And that's all set. View, guides, lock guides. Okay, now I can't select them. Save that. Okay.